Yo, Wagwan, this your boy, brother. I know him alongside my co-host TZ Dave in the building. Y'all already
Yes,
know what it
sir.
is. Y'all know what time it is. Welcome back to the Sports Time Zone. This is once again the only sports show podcast that you're gonna find where you get two different generations, takes and opinions and breakdowns on all the sports topics. We got everything covered. We got everything on lock. We the number one show out there. We gonna keep going and we ain't gonna stop until everybody recognize that what we doing and we number one at it. Want to send a special salute to all of the sponsors that look out for us. Again, goodlifeclothing.com. Shout out my man Joe Leo for nicing us up with the drobe. KE Creations for anybody looking for any type of graphic designs that y'all want to put on shirts, socks, towels, drawers, all that. They take care of that. And my man Gene Hennigan for lacing us up with the dope logo that y'all see in the upper right-hand corner. But far and beyond all of that, TZD, what's good with you, brother?
Man, can't complain. What's up?
That's what's up, man. You know how we do it. We're always about this time. We got a really dope show. This last week, it was a lot going on with sports, a whole lot. And we're gonna break down all of that. We're gonna get into all of that. But today is a really special episode. We got a real special guest joining us today. And I'm gonna do this brother justice because he deserves the justice that I'm gonna give him. He is an ATL native, born and raised, Atlanta sports fan and blogger, Generation X representative, and Grady High alum. I want everybody out there to give a special shout out to my man, Big Ty Hill, for joining the show, representing that ATL. So ATL, y'all stand up. Big Ty, welcome to the show, brother. Thanks for joining us on Sports Time Zone.
Appreciate you, Noops. Appreciate you, TZD, man. Appreciate y'all having me today, man.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I'm glad to. Hey,
I
put it out there. ATL boys.
I ain't repping a whole lot. You know, it's just a little Falcon gear. You know what I'm saying? Little Hawks regalia. You know, gotta always represent.
Them Georgia boys. There's some proud fans down there, some proud Georgia boys. You got some relations in the ATL too, TZD. I know you got some people down in the ATL too. You know, so
I got some fam down there.
Yeah. Salute, man. Thanks again for having you. So Big Ty, before we even get started on, doing the questions and getting into any sports, just kind of tell the people a little bit about your background and your sports fandom. Obviously, you are from the ATL, born and raised. What was it like growing up as a sports fan in Atlanta? Kind of give us a little bit of that background.
Well, you know what? That's the thing about it. When it comes to sports here in Atlanta, Atlanta's a highlight city. So, you got guys like Dominique, Spud, Doc Rivers. You got your Jesse Tuggles. And then we got the next generation with Grady Jarrett. So, it's a lot of rich history when it comes to sports. But just to see now our Bulldogs kicking in. You got to remember we had Herschel Walker, championship, Vince Dooley, the GOAT.
So, Georgia Bulldogs. Yeah, stand up. Salute to the Georgia Bulldogs too, man. That's some rich history. I mean, a lot of people know about the Atlanta Braves history, the Georgia Bulldogs history, the Falcons, some of the all-time greats. Deion Sanders done came through the Falcons. We've seen Michael Vick play for the Falcons. We've seen, Andre Rison. There's been so many great players to play for the Atlanta Falcons. But just kind of getting into where we are right now in this current day and age with the Atlanta Falcons, there's been some rough times, some ups and downs there.
Rough ain't the word. I mean, you got to think about it. Atlanta known for sports. We ain't known for winning a whole lot. The Braves, we love the Braves. We're holding on to the Braves. Then you got Atlanta United. They finally won one. I know Atlanta's starting to become a big soccer town. So we're definitely, and the energy is great in the arena for the Atlanta United game. So when you start talking about UGA, we also talk about Georgia Tech. So, we have hit and miss years. Now, coming up with the Falcons, I know one of the things that a lot of people are talking about who y'all QB go be coming up. So right now, that's the big mystery. That's everything that we got in a nutshell right now. What the Falcons go do? We might well make a wristband for
it. I see that. That was actually going to be one of my first questions. I don't know, TZD got a few questions for you too, but I got to get this question in here because this big talk going on right now with a certain quarterback that played for the Chicago Bears by the name of Justin Fields, who clearly is not happy with playing with the Bears anymore. He done unfollowed the Bears. He's no longer following the Bears. The Bears have pretty much, made it seem like they may be ready to move on from him. Do you seek or do you think the Falcons should make a bid or go after Justin Fields? You think that'll help the team, or where do you stand on the Justin Fields to Atlanta thing?
All right, first and foremost, before I start talking, let me go ahead and put this disclaimer out here. When it comes to your boy BIGTIE start talking, he don't know what's coming out of his mouth. So the views and opinions are Ty Hill and Ty Hill only.
Hey, y'all hear that? Hey, all y'all at home,
you gotta read that out there.
He's my boy.
We talk about Justin Fields. Think about it from this perspective when it comes to Justin Fields. Okay, Justin Fields played for UGA. We didn't play him that much. He left. He goes to Ohio. Shows his natural black behind off. I mean, this kid has an amazing career. And then he goes pro. So if we think about it in that aspect, what we need from Justin Fields, what we need now, same way when it comes to our overall team, like now, where does he fit in the grand scheme of things? I think he'll take it back to play action, play Falcons, back to them Vic years. I got a quarterback who's mobile, who not just sit in the pocket, but can actually take his time and complete the throw. And if all else fail and my O-line decide that they don't want to block, he can get up out of there.
That's huge. That's huge to have that type of quarterback nowadays. As we were saying a few weeks ago, the mobile quarterback is pretty much the dominant quarterback in the league. And with a guy like Justin Fields, I could see him actually improving your team and your roster. I don't think your team is any worse as far as the O-line than what he came from in Chicago. I think that's probably the worst O-line or in the worst scheme that he will probably have in his entire career. Anywhere he goes beyond that is going to be an upgrade in my eyes. So
I feel the same way. I think Atlanta got some better receivers as well. So that gives them kind of more options to either run or still pass when he got to.
So Dave, you see that being a good fit? You see him Atlanta and Justin Fields being a good fit?
Right, it could work out.
This is the deal, though. I mean, with Justin Fields, let's think about his last year. Okay, and I just want to hear this stat: 40 TDs, 30 interceptions.
Jeez.
So now we sit about it as this.
Yes,
I love a risk taker. I mean, you can't make omelets if you don't break a few eggs. So he's not scared to get it out there. We just signed another O-line. We brought him back. So that's a good thing. We're trying to keep some continuity going with the Falcons. So me personally, Drake London, great. I don't think we're utilizing Kyle Pitts. Last year, Smith, oh my God, I don't want to talk about Nepo, baby. We're going to talk about that. He's no longer here no more. But that's the thing. We got Kyle Pitts in the tight end, and but he's a top, realistically, height, speed, skill set. I line him on the outside. I run him, or we run him as a tight end and let him create his own plays like a Kelsey, like a Kittle. He has the skill set. He has the ability. I think we need to cut him loose, and hopefully Raheem Morris can actually put Kyle KP into the mix of play action. You got Bijan, you got Tyler Algier. Let us get another namesake receiver in the game, and oh my God, we can take it back to when we had Andre Rison and them lining up back in the day with the Falcons. Oh my God, I'm excited for the season coming up.
Yeah, y'all got a really dope tight end. Y'all drafted probably the best tight end of his era, and then you backdoor, and then you come back with Bijan. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what y'all do at that quarterback position.
They still ain't better than the Lions, though. Not at all.
That's a good point. That remains to be seen for next year, but yeah, it's gonna be. It looks a lot more promising for y'all next year than it did in prior years and prior years.
But y'all gotta think about it like this too. Where we fit in, we're in the NFC South. I mean, come on, we ain't got the hardest division in the world. Last year they said we had the easiest schedule on earth, but like I tell everybody, just because the year before all the teams we played in our schedule, we played the statistically worst team schedule of the year. Everybody can't be bad forever. So now you had teams like Detroit, who's constantly building, adding pieces to their team. And now you got the 49ers. Didn't nobody expect Mr. Darn Irrelevant to do what he did last year. But then again, he is surrounded by Kittle, McCaffrey. I don't even want to talk about Ayuk. Come on now. It ain't the fact that he was not the greatest. He just had a lot of talent around him. But Brock Purdy is a solid contender. So it's really the heart of the guy that we put in there. But look who he has surrounding him. It's sort of like putting the best ingredients in the cake and, okay, my sugar's cheap, but it's in the mix with all the other great ingredients. So something go be good in the mix.
Well, y'all do have some good ingredients. Dave, did you have anything that you want to throw at them about the Falcons?
No, I just don't see them as a threat this year, though. Regardless, moving forward, they still got a lot of building.
Dave, you be coming for the throat, boy. Dave, he like, I just don't even see y'all boys being a factor, so ain't really nothing to even.
Hey, you might as well put that DRS sound effect in there. This is for my homies. God dang, he has a little.
You gotta get a quarterback first.
We do. Yeah. You got to have a field general, and that's the mix. And realistically, it's so many pieces in there. I mean, we had Taylor Heineke. I apologize. I mean, the Georgia boy who's in the mix. Desmond Ridder. Oh my God.
I mean, and some of the ingredients are in place.
Yes.
Like you said, and to Dave's point, the quarterback is the centerpiece. You guys have some good complementary pieces around. I love your tight end position. I love what I see at the wide receiver position. Maybe
Don't
just
talk
one
about
more.
our running backs. We got Bijan and
I was just going to ask you about that guy, about Bijan. That's what I was going to ask you. Bijan Robinson, for all of us who are not in Atlanta, we don't get to see him play week in and week out every single week. Like, how good is he and what is his potential in your opinion as a fan that you've seen him rookie year, you've seen how well he played. What do you see as his ceiling and how good is he right now?
Bijan don't have a ceiling. That's the problem that we had. The fans really didn't get to see. The world didn't get a chance to see because he wasn't put in the grand scheme. Okay, we had some battling injuries. So one thing I'm glad that we did have as a team, we had a powerful backup in Tyler Algier. Like I said, this gentleman had 1,200 plus yard year the year before. So bringing them into the mix, I'm glad that he had a fall up. So now going into the next year, Bijan definitely gonna have a 1,200 plus rushing yard year. And you know we'll run heavy team.
Where's the touchdowns at? Is he getting touchdowns?
All right, so Dave, let me ask a question. DVD, can he get them? Yes. Does he have the potential to get them? Yes. Is he going to get them? Heck yeah, because now I got a coach who's wildly of a coach, of a playmaker to enjoy. Okay, let's not say enjoy, implement his star players. You go put your studs in the game and let them run wild. And that's what I think Raheem go do there. Now, everybody who know me, and I know a lot of my Facebook friends, like, Ty, don't get on TV on the internet at the A. No, okay. I wasn't the biggest Raheem Morris fan. I'm still on the fence about it. I'd be honest with you, I'd rather we went Belichick.
That's what my next question. What happened with that?
A lot of people don't realize when you get Belichick, you don't just get the coach. He's the guy, when he comes in, his contract that states that, hey, I'm running my team. I know you're the owner, but I need you to sit up in the box, wear your fancy suits, and don't say nothing to me. All right, hold on. Let me tell you, Mr. Owner, time out. You can't even talk about the staff I bring in the mix. So that's a Belichick. You don't get just the coach. You get the GM. You get the offensive, defensive. He's filming the videos. He's editing the video. He's doing all the sound for the video. The only thing you're doing is just get a quick sound bite. Hey, that's the owner. All right, bye, owner. And that's it. So with Belichick, he has a habit of telling owners, this is my team. Shut the F up and keep it pushing.
But y'all interviewed him twice. Y'all had to know what you were getting when you interviewed Bill Belichick, not once, but 2 times. How you interview Bill Belichick 2 times and you still don't hire him?
That means he ain't want to be there.
That's he really did. You got to think about Bill Belichick
is be there.
74, 75 years old. This is, I mean, only in America, almost 80-year-old people getting top billing jobs nowadays. So you get Bill Belichick, you know what you're bringing with him. It's a pedigree that you bring in the championship. Do we have a Tom Brady QB? No. That's the fly in the soup. All right, we can pluck that fly out the soup. Can we get that? We got a draft coming up. We got potential free. I mean, think about it. Broncos going to let go of Russell Wilson.
Yeah. Sierra's husband is about to be on the market.
And I know they keep putting Kirk Cousins' name in the mix.
He's going down his whole career.
Well, hold on. Though. His wife is from Atlanta, though. His wife is from the ATL. So, I mean,
I would rather stay on the Broncos and go to Atlanta. I just feel like it's a better team, and they got defense.
But the Broncos clearly don't. I don't think.
I know
the Broncos want him no more.
Down to it though, my decision, I would rather.
If it was you would rather stay in a team that doesn't value you, where the coach don't really like you like that. You know, because the coach for the Broncos don't really fuck with Russell. Like, and you can see that the chemistry with them two is off. But to your point, it might be a better situation. I just know that in the Russell Wilson and Sierra household, I know who wears the pants in that house. And it ain't Russell. So if Mr.
Sierra got the pants on,
if Mr. Sierra gets told by Mrs. Sierra that I want to be in Atlanta, I could see the agent pushing it in that direction. So you never know. You know, I don't know.
Well, the culture is better. Like, okay, I'm in Denver, but I'm going to Atlanta. This is the turn city right here.
Why stay somewhere where the coach don't even want you? Your coach has been telling you the whole time, I don't want you.
Stay there.
You're 40 years old. We don't want you. You're almost 40, Russ. We don't want you. How can you be as a quarterback, a top billing quarterback, where your coach don't even like you? It's sort of like I go home to my wife and she tell me, you can't sleep in here. You can sleep on the sofa. Then you go to the sofa. She said, no, just go to the garage. Enjoy yourself. My coach don't like me. That's supposed to be the gentleman who put you in the game, give you in your instruction. I need you to run this play. Hey, we got so many minutes left in the game. This is where we on the field. I need you to be the star that you are. But your coach telling you,
we ain't
like you anyway. Just go out there and play.
Yeah, you gotta believe in your players.
You're right. And we've seen many times in the season, last season, where Russell Wilson was just getting chewed out by Sean Payton. I mean,
Payton ever did that to
Drew Brees? Never did.
Never. He never did that with any other quarterback.
Given day. Not a one.
He didn't even do that with Jameis Winston.
Never.
I would have been horse him. Hey, how about all these interceptions, bro?
Mr.
We ain't got time for all these interceptions. I mean, I seen his games when he was back-to-back interception. Like, who are you throwing it to?
Tell your quarterback, we want you to stop kissing babies, and we want you to be a quarterback. Really? That's how you come in the game? Hey, we really should have made that deal we made with this guy. Really? Come on.
That's kind of what he said too. So, all right, we definitely get the drift on that. We're gonna switch gears a little bit and change gears and move over to the basketball court. The Atlanta Hawks right now hold the 10th spot, I believe, right now. Do you see them? Or the 10th seed in the East, which is a play-in spot. Do you see them just kind of staying locked in at around that play-in area in the 10th, or do you see them making a push into a top 6 seed or perhaps getting into the playoffs by the time the playoffs start? Where do you see them going, your Hawks?
You know what's the funny part about? I know people see this 26-34 record and say, what are the Hawks going to do now? I mean, you got the Bulls, you got the Pacers, you got the Heat, who are also they're 34-26. So now that's a big transition from 26-34 to 34-26.
Yeah, that's a big jump.
Hawks are a second half team, always have. But the cool part is, and I tell everybody, if y'all notice, when Trae Young's out, we play better statistically. with Trae Young in the mix. It's the fact of putting Trae, DJ, and the rest of those pieces together. What are we getting with DeAndre Hunter? I'm glad Jalen Johnson stepping up to being that guy. So JC's gone now. He's stepping into the game. Big O, Clint. Me, I changed that lineup, but also at the same time, once again, I got to read that disclaimer again. The words that come out of Big Time mouth are his opinions only. He does not represent no organization. No, but it's. Do we have the potential? Yes. Do we have the talent? Yes. Me personally, it's a lot of things I would love to say. I would love for our coach to change up his 9-man strong rotation because AJ Griffin gets no burn. Nate put him in the game, showed his black behind. I mean, came in and beast mode the game. 16 points. We ain't seen him none this season. He's been DNP all season long.
Sure.
Get Bogey in the game early. Let him start up. We get Bogey in early. Statistically, we win when Bogey's over 12 points going into the half.
That's an interesting stat. I didn't know that. I do know that when he's in the game, good things happen because I have watched you guys play a few times. And he is one of those guys that you have to account for. He can.
And this is a name y'all don't hear about. Trent Forrest. He gets no burn. Oh my God, we got talent. We just got
all that offensive talent.
Keep him on the bench.
It's the defense as well too, though. Where's the defense?
So what, Dave? So you saying that they're defensively, they're a bad team, a bad defensive team. They got the offensive.
They show it and then they fall off. Then they'll show it because they got to because it's a big game. So we got to win this. But like consistent against bad teams, they letting them put up 130. Like you letting the Hornets put up 130 against y'all. Like come on,
sort of like winning the games. I see it. He's saying what most of us feel. The games that we think we should be winning, we losing. The games that everybody think we losing, we winning. So I'm like, dang if you do and dang if you don't.
That's crazy.
I think for us, the next 10 games is going to be our litmus test because, I mean, you got to think about what we got coming up. So realistically, in the next 10 games, if we can pull off at least 80% of that at least put us in a 500 position or better. So now you're going into the rest of the season. Do I see the Hawks making playoffs? That's yet to be determined. As a fan, my heart will always say, heck yeah. As a stat guy or as a sports guy, you sitting there like, God dang, did you really look at our schedule time? Really?
Yeah, because y'all next 10 games, glad you said, y'all next 10 games, you got in New York City for the New York Knicks, at home for the Cleveland Cavs, at the Memphis Grizzlies, back at home for the New Orleans Pelicans, at the Portland Trail Blazers, at the Utah Jazz, at the Clippers, at the Lakers, and then at Phoenix. So you got some winnable games in there, but that back half, we got
a lot of road games that we really. That's the test. That's the test that we got. We got to change our winning these road games instead of losing these road games, and that's where we're sitting right now as a team. So it's this back half of the season. And I mean, you got to think about Utah, Clippers, Lakers, Phoenix, Charlotte, Boston, Portland. Dang, that's an 8 out of 10 loss right now. I'm sorry. I mean, I love my Hawks, but dang, you just put in 8 games out of 10 that do I see them winning?
Yeah, y'all still got Trae out for about 3 weeks. No Trae.
That's the thing. You got no Trae. So when we got Trae out the game, DJ steps up 18 plus points a game. Jalen's 18 plus a game. Bogey is actually sitting on 20. So you're sitting there like, ooh. Birdman hands.
I still feel like y'all got it's Trae. Like y'all still need Trae. Whether he play bad with y'all or without y'all, he is the glue. Y'all gotta just keep giving it to Trae.
You know what? You know who I see as the glue that I think I want not go put. Can I really say this? Do I want to say this? I love Trae. Do I think he's gonna stay? That's the problem. I don't.
That's my next question.
I think he got ties to LA somewhere.
So hold on. So you think Trae? You think Trae is gonna leave? He's not a.
Lakers want Trae. They would Trae in that mix right now would change their dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
What year is he in his contract? Like how much time does Trey have left on his contract? And then you guys know
3 years. I mean, he signed with us the big dog status. That was 4 years, 5 years. That last option year. So I mean, we got a couple more years left to Trey. So realistically, we need to put some pieces together to make him want to stay and to build the championship organization. I love what Landry Fields is doing with the Hawks right now. So I do see that there is some promise right there. I think we're a few pieces away. We need a true center, but I love Big O. Clint plays better defense. But one thing about what we did see last year in the playoff, Big O stuck Giannis.
So real quick on Trae Young's contract. Trae Young is making a base salary of $40 million, carrying a cap hit and a dead cap value of $40 million. But here's the kicker. His contract also has an early termination option for 2025. I don't know what that means.
It's his option.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a player option.
Yeah,
he has a player option, and that's the part that we have to work on. Our goal is to put the pieces to make you want to stay. I mean, think about it. You got somebody that's a winner, and nobody wants to be the greatest to never win it. I mean, you got to think about it. Carmelo Anthony, great career, never won a championship. James Harden, great player, can't win in the stretch. So you really don't never want to be in the class of the greatest to never do it. So Trey he has a legacy that he wants to build. Is he deserving of it? He's a great player. Can't doubt about it. He brings the fans out. He gets in the game. We saw it last year, down by 5, sitting on 60 seconds, less than 60 seconds left in the game. Trey pulls out 12 points, push us over the hump. So is he that guy? Yes, he's that guy. Is he that undersized dynamo that we have? Absolutely. So we need to put some more pieces together with it. It's just cohesion. That's the most.
That's my boy right there. I'll rock with Trey.
Ice Trey. And you know the thing about Trey, he always seems to have you boys in the playoff hunt every year. Like, I don't remember a season that the Hawks played with him in the lineup that you guys just were completely out of the playoff mix. Like, this always, you guys are always around. You're always there. And I think even one season, you guys actually got how far did he got you guys to, like, the second round, third round, maybe?
Second round. That's the thing. You get to the second round, but you got to have players down the stretch. You can always have an all-star starting squad, but what's your supporting cast go do? And that's any team that wins the championship got to have a second squad. So realistically, now I need Coach Snyder to develop that second squad and get that cohesion and who he wants to come off the bench, that go be that spark. We had Lemon Pepper Lou. I mean, we had one of the greatest guys, and I love Lou. Come off the bench, go in 16 to 18 points and get it in. So who's going to be our guy that we got in that position right now? So Bogey is our starter. Bogey should be our guy that we should be pushing to be a push.
Hey, for the younger fans and TZD, you know why Lou Williams was called Lemon Pepper Lou? You don't know why they gave him that name? They say your boy was. They say I don't know what strip club it was. They say your boy was up in a strip club and he ordered a load of lemon pepper wings.
Yeah, he was supposed to be in the bubble. That was the thing. He skipped the bubble to head back to the
bubble. Hey, Lou was up in the strip club and they talking about one of the strippers said, "Yeah, Lou Williams ordered like $10,000 worth of lemon pepper wings."
And think about this. It's funny that you mentioned Trey's contract. 40 million, 43 million, 45 million in 2026. That's that player option to where, oh my God, that is insane.
Yeah,
so, man. Oh my God, man.
It's insanely crazy.
They still offer him that bag to stay. It might be something he can't refuse.
Which is why I was even more surprised when y'all went after DeJounte Murray. Like, I didn't understand that whole dynamic with DeJounte and Trey together in the same backcourt. They both demand the ball in their hands. So I didn't get that, and I don't understand that. What's your take on DeJounte?
I love DJ. He was an all-star before he got here. He's still an all-star now. Realistically, I love DJ. It was the move to you got a point guard that you can move into a 2 guard position. I mean, 6'4", 6'5". He's averaging 16, 18 points. So it seems to where putting together a mix of what we have is 2 teams. I got my guys that go get us started. That's your horsepower. Well, that's your torque, and then our horsepower to keep us moving in a sense. So I got 2 strong horses that can get us started, get us scoring quick, keep the tempo moving. But now you got to think about cohesion. How well do they work together? I love Trey and DJ, and I realistically, I hope they can keep them both here in Atlanta and add a few more pieces.
Which is why I feel like they kept them. That's why they kept them by the trade deadline, because there was rumors saying they was going to trade them all 3 weeks. Like, we about to trade them, and they kept them.
No, DJ wasn't going nowhere. See, I love trade rumors. Trade rumors are just that rumor. You always got to put that mustard seed in the midst. They planted that seed. He wasn't going nowhere. So now we go look for the rest of the season. Then now the fans go sit around. Oh my God, I'm glad we didn't trade DJ. No, you shouldn't trade DJ. Matter of fact, if it was me, and I'm only speaking for me, I build around him.
That's DJ over Trey. Well, he is more versatile, so I could see that he's more versatile and he could make a little more noise.
Also got him because he's longer. He play defense, so he can guard the other team's best players.
Exactly. And I love
Trey to try to give you 30. I mean, he gonna play defense, but like they gonna try to pick on him
and bully him around. Same thing they did with Steph in the earlier year. You bump him, get him out of rhythm, but you can't get a shooter out of rhythm like that. Steph showed you guys that, hey, I could take them bumps. Trey showed them guys that I can play with you big dudes and play with you. Do we get the defensive aspect out of that? Hit or miss. But for his scoring ability, Trey can show you. I can put up 40 at any given time. Can I go back and forth with you on the shot? I can. He can get nasty cold with you.
Good point. Ice Trey, man. Ice Trey. Good stuff on that. Good stuff on the ATL Hawks. So we're just going to lay around for it and see how things turn out with the Hawks and how they approach the postseason, see how Trae Young recovers, see what happens. But ATL hopeful, y'all drop in the comments, everybody out there, what y'all think the Atlanta Hawks are going to finish the season as. Do you think they'll finish as a play-in team? Do you think they'll get a playoff spot, or do you think they'll fall completely out? Y'all make sure y'all drop that in the comments. Moving along, we got Big Ty Hill with us for the whole show. Ty did say he was willing to stick with us for the whole show.
Did I say that? No, just
he's going to stick with us for the show. So we got a few other things that we're going to go over. Namely, this past weekend, in the past week, there was some really, really good NBA basketball that was played over the course of the weekend. First game that I want to go over was the New York Knicks beating the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, in this game, Jalen Brunson, the New York Knicks star player, their star point guard, went out early in that game when he knocked knees with a Cavaliers defender and had a knee contusion. He was hobbled out the game, so he didn't get to finish that game. OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson are also already on injured reserve, but they look to be coming back real soon. The New York Knicks did win that game against Cleveland, but overall, what I've noticed about the Knicks, and may be an issue for them in the postseason, is that they are extremely reliant on Jalen Brunson. Yes, they did win that game last night, but overall, that's just their first win without him. They're 1-2 without Jalen Brunson. I know it's a small sample size, but in the games that I've watched, it just looks like without him, whenever he goes to the bench and whenever he's not on the court, the whole team is in disarray. And I don't know if that's a good formula for a team going into the playoff to be that reliant on one player, especially when you know injuries happen. So
now, you know what? I want to hear TZD on that because I know you got something big about the game.
Yeah, that's what I was about. So let's start with TZD. TZD, what's your take on the New York Knicks right now with the injuries that they have with Jalen Brunson and just their whole overall scheme of things? What do you got on them?
I feel like they got to stay more consistent with health. That's one thing. You just mentioned the players. Everybody out. Their interior, they're small in the interior, that's a problem for them going into the playoffs with no size. Because everybody in the East, you got some heavy hitters. Cause you got Joel, you got Giannis, you got Lopez down there. You got some big names down there. So that's the thing they gotta get right.
Yeah, Mitchell Robinson coming back. Yeah,
they're not consistent enough with shooters. They have no shooters to me. I like DiVincenzo. I feel like he's their only consistent shooter. Bogdanovich is nice.
That's it. Well, him and Bogdanovich, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it to me as far as their shooters. When they gave up Emmanuel quickly, I felt like they gave away a lot of shooting. They gave away their number one 3-point shooter. So
ball handling. He was handling the ball as well.
He was doing
a lot of them just shooting. They not even handling the ball. That's all Brunson. So they got to find that cohesiveness with that and try to figure out how they gonna.
Hold on, you ain't put Bogdan in. That Bogdan came in with another 20 points now.
No, that is a nice pickup though with Bogdan.
So they had a nice
pickup.
Yeah, he did. He did come through with the 20 points. So how do you feel about them, Big Ty?
This is the thing though. Jalen is the glue. We got this small, scrappy guy that comes in who the team he came from, I'm gonna keep them nameless. They regretting they shouldn't have never let him go. So now he's up in New York. So you got DiVincenzo coming in the game, stepping in, McBride, who put up another 14, 15 points last night.
Yeah,
so I
mean, did.
At the end of the day, the Knicks are trying to regain those glory days. They had the big name. You had the Starks. You had your Ewans. You had guys who coming in. You had your Oakleys playing defense.
Spreewell, Larry Johnson.
So there was a Draymond. You know what I'm saying? In the paint, beating up dudes, putting up points at the same time. And they were looking good. You had Starks out there who one night can drop 35 points, the next night put in 16, but he can have 12 steals at the same time. So
good stuff.
Now New York is one of them cities where they have to be in the mix. I mean, they just always keep a team that's in the middle of the road. I say the same, my Hawks. We end up being in the middle of the road, but the Knicks got a chance to be good this year. Now, can Jalen Brunson stay healthy? And that's what they got to worry about now. Where's Brunson going to be in the mix towards the end of the season?
So I guess my next question is all dependent on health then, because my next question was going to be like, right now the Knicks are in the 4th spot. And between now and the end of the season, do y'all see them holding on to that 4, or do you see them dropping out? But from what both of y'all sound like, it just depends on their health, or do you think it don't depend on health and you think it's going to go either way? So what about
be around 4 and 5? They're going to flow back and forth between them two. Because everybody else is still kind of far behind them in the standings, so they still got room to can still be up there.
Well, that's a good point. I do think, however, that my Heat standing at number 7 right now at a record of 34-26. The Knicks are 36-25. The New York Knicks lose one game and we win one game, and we're virtually tied with them. So between 4 and 6, it seems like it's a lot, but it's really not. Like if they lose a game, and even Orlando is 35-26. If Orlando wins a game and the Knicks lose a game, then they're tied with New York. So New York is treading lightly. Philly, I don't see Philly as being much. I think Philly's going to drop out. They're number 5 right now, but I think they're going to drop out without Embiid. But the Knicks
still got some problems on the other end of the darn conference. You got the Celtics, the Bucks, and the Cavs.
Yeah, the top 3.
So
those top 3, I think they locked in.
Top 3 too.
I think those top 3 might be locked in for the rest of the season. I don't see
New York sustain without Brunson. That's the biggest question right now. Can DiVincenzo step up to be that guy to help them over the hump? I think he's a good mix, but they need Brunson to take it past the hump, and that's the goal right now. It's getting over the hump.
Good point. I agree with.
Season is winding down. It's time for that push. They gotta be more consistent with it, especially without Brunson not playing.
This is definitely the crunch time of the season, just like TZ Dave just said. Moving along to the next game that we're gonna cover. Now this one wasn't even really much of a game. The Boston Celtics, they blew Golden State out the water, 140-88. Now, a little disclaimer on that. Steph Curry was not 100%. I mean, if you watch that game or if you see him, he was not 100%. Even before the game, he was listed as questionable. So I didn't even think he was going to go. But the fact that he still went and tried to give it something, that says a lot. But he wasn't 100%. It was Jaylen Brown's birthday, and Jaylen Brown finished with 29 points on 11 of 19 shooting. Jason Tatum still came through with 27 points in only 25 minutes of play. So, it's Tatum's birthday. Okay, forgive me. Jason Tatum's birthday on that, and he showed up with the 27. So, with all that being said, with the Celtics,
140 points though.
Yeah, so
140 to 88.
I'm just gonna ahead and shut my mouth because I'm a Warriors fan, so I ain't got nothing to say. I'm disappointed. You know what I'm saying? I turned the game up, I turned around, went to sleep, all that. So y'all can just forget all that talk.
That's bad. But look, I will say this though. Klay Thompson, man. Klay Thompson, he got to get it together. Like, he has games where he shows up. Then he has games like this one. 6 points on 2 of 4 shooting. 2 of 4 shooting. And you're Klay Thompson. How do you only shoot 4 shots in I don't care if you only played 4 minutes. He should have 8 shots.
Well, the game was not going in our favor. So I don't care who ain't shoot the ball. Steph went 0 for 9, and he the greatest shooter of all time.
Whoa. Only 12 minutes, guys. 12 minutes.
12 minutes.
Everybody had a bad game.
Hey, Klay, come here. Let me holler at you for a minute. You ain't scoring right now, baby. I need you to come sit down with me.
You want to move ahead? Hey, Dave, let me just get this real quick.
Everybody had
the Golden State Warriors only had 3 players to hit double figures. 3 players on the entire roster to score double figures. That was Moody, Gary Payton II, and some cat named Robinson.
Robinson, right.
And Quinones.
Quinones had 17 now. Don't leave him out the mix.
What did.
Would you do?
I know my team, man. I know who hooping. I know who playing.
But then think about it like this. Quinones got 33 minutes in the game. He got some PT, and he showed them that not only can I get in the game, but I can play a little defense, and if you give him an opportunity, I can score at the same time. So Woody gets in the game, 11 points.
That's a good sign.
Off night. I mean, oh my God, his paint in the paint. He went 0 for 3 on layups. Now I tell you what, he had some highly contested shots, but he was too close to the rim, and his defender was a couple of inches shorter than him to miss some of them shots. But I get it. Defense is defense, and good defense can make any player miss an easy shot. So there's a lot of people say, bro, really? He could have made. I get it, but hey, so 6 points. And then you got to think about it on this at the same time. Gary Payton was, I love his tenacity. I love his ability to make it to the rim. But it ain't just about making it to the rim. It's finishing the shot, finishing strong. And oh my God, I think that highlight, him missing that layup was a top 10. It should have been a top 10 because he was by himself.
I like his defense intensity. Like, he's always hustling. He always playing hard. He's defending. He shooting open shots. Like, Gary Payton, like when he came back, when he finally got healthy, I said, yeah, he is a part of the rotation that we need. Consistent hustle, consistent defense.
And just think about it. If Gary Payton II is that good, and he's not even a fraction of what his dad was. Now, myself and Big Ty had an opportunity to watch Gary Payton play in his prime. The glove Gary Payton, he had to be all defensive team like pretty much every season of his career. And not just that, he could still turn around and give you 30.
Plus 20 points on you.
Yeah, he'll drop it on you. Like, he would still do that. He had the passing ability, the ball handling ability, but his defense was second to none. Like, I've seen him lock down pretty much every guard of his era except for Jordan. Now, even with Jordan, he would give Jordan problems because Jordan said he hated when Gary Payton guarded him.
Stick Jordan in the end, but he had his ups and downs. I give it to everybody. We call him GOAT for a reason. I know everybody want to say LeBron. I give it to y'all, man.
Nah,
I want to defend any LeBron fans who watching. So TZD.
Yeah, there's plenty of them watching. LeBron, well, guess what? I don't care.
I do root for. I do like Bron though, but I don't root.
Shout out to LeBron.
LeBron's definitely a top. He's a top 10 GOAT. He is. He's earned that status. 40 1,000 points.
Yeah.
I know people say he's been playing 20 years. No, screw that. LeBron is a guy. He's that guy.
He is, but he ain't. But he is not the greatest player of all time. Like I just can't. I can't go there. Like, yeah, he did help us win 2 championships in Miami. I got his jersey right behind me. Like, I love what he did for my town and what he did for my team. But once he left, thanks for the rings, bitch. Dude, like, yo, you did what you did. You did what you did. You're a great player. I love what you did for the team. But all that GOAT talk, we can't do them type of thing right now, dog. Can't do them thing.
He's definitely he's gonna always be in the top 3. He's the most hated. He's a deliverable guy. LeBron delivers, and I give it to him. You need him in the clutch. He delivers. Now, I will say that last championship that they won in Cleveland, it wasn't LeBron. It was a little old guy that everybody loved to skip over in Kyrie Irving. Because when LeBron didn't score them last 10 minutes of the game, Kyrie was putting up buckets. I mean, ugly buckets was scored. Uncle Drew was getting in the paint. He was scoring big 3. So at the end of the day, LeBron still gonna be a GOAT to me. I love the guy. He's one of the greatest humanitarians in NBA history to me. I mean, the guy gives back. He's building schools. Everybody want to talk about, oh man, let's talk about his on-court act. He's been in the league 20 years. His durability is amazing. I mean, think about it. He's had his share of injuries, but LeBron's still putting up 20-30, 20-30, 20-30.
Yeah.
Does he have every player need to have a good player? Because I mean, it wouldn't be no Jordan without Pippen.
Yeah, what he's doing is it's never been done before. So I mean, everybody needs somebody. LeBron is definitely going to go down as one of the greatest players to ever play the game. Salute to him. But getting back to the Celtics and Golden State, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Kristaps Porzingis, those boys look for real. They look for real. And in the playoffs, nobody's going to want to face them. But, you know, on any given day, anybody can be beat. I'm not saying that they're unbeatable. But right now, that's 9 wins in a row?
Jaylen Brown put 29 points in 22 minutes, sir.
That's crazy. And then for them to be on this type of a winning streak that they're on, nobody has come close to beating them in like the last 9 to 10 games. So they're really hitting their stride at the right time or when they should.
Well, it's a good pickup players that picked up behind Derek White, 14 points, Pritchard, 19, Hauser put in another 12. I mean, they got some good guys that coming out the bench. I love Al Horford. He might only put 7 points up last night, but Al Horford was throwing the ball down for a minute. And you got to think about it like this. He had 4 rebounds and 4 assists. A lot of people say, oh, them ain't big stats. His defense presence was there. He was being a nuisance on the court.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. Al Horford is one of those unsung players that every team needs a player like Al Horford. He does all of the little things. He has veteran leadership, and he doesn't make big mistakes. That's what you need. Somebody who's not going to make.
What is Boston talk? Bucks and 6, man.
All right. Moving along, man.
Let's go ahead and get to it. I know you're ready for it.
We're going to get to it now.
Playoffs, man. We is coming.
The Milwaukee Bucks took on the Chicago Bulls over this weekend, and Milwaukee put them hands on the Bulls. They beat them 113-97. Giannis dropped 46 points in that game. There was a little scuffle between Portis and DeRozan midway through that game. It was just a little shoving match going on. But I'm gonna let TZD kick this one off. So, what are you feeling about your Milwaukee Bucks? Because of course you're a Bucks fan and you're a Golden State Warrior. My man got a fan on. He got a team on each conference. So your Eastern Conference team,
each conference,
the Milwaukee Bucks. How do you feel about your Bucks heading into the second half of the season? And what do you feel about what they did to the Chicago Bulls in this last game in Chicago?
Well, first of all, I want to say I already knew this game was. We handle Chicago every year. We beat them every year in the playoffs, regular season. It doesn't matter. They have nobody to check Giannis. They can't defend. They're not consistent. I don't believe in their coach. So they're just bad to me right now. And then the Bucks, we're consistent. Since All-Star, we won every game. We beat Minnesota in Minnesota. We beat the Hornets. Okay, that's easy. We beat Philadelphia.
Correct.
We just beat Chicago.
Yeah.
Right. We are trending in the right direction. I love our defense. I love that we're playing hard. I love we're communicating with one another. We're talking. We're holding each other accountable. There's continuity building still. Like,
so you think Doc Rivers has figured it out?
Go up. We can do nothing but go up from this point on
he was
forward.
put in the right place at the right time.
Doc, yeah, because Doc is a former Atlanta Hawks point guard. For those of y'all who don't know, Doc Rivers.
Moments, but we didn't move forward from that. I must say. Let's see how we got a big game. Let's beat the Clippers tonight at home. Let's do it.
That's a tall order.
See, I already know TZD was already go hone in on it. I mean, I give it to it. Giannis put up 46 points, 16 for 22, 2 for 3 in the three-point shot. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Giannis was thick on.
If he's playing that well, I don't know who's gonna beat them. If Giannis is on like
he's gonna be that guy, and they gonna be the hardest to win. They're the favorites to win to me in the East, and I think they're favorites to take it again. Be honest with you,
but they were the favorites. Hold on. They were the favorites.
I'm gonna give Doc some props on that one. Man. They ain't about to get him a ring. Doc about to get him a ring. Who's stopping the Bucks right now? Right now, Giannis is showing them like, hey. I know y'all keep talking about MVP, but.
Well, Big Ty. I mean, not to live in the past of anything, but they were the favorites to win it all last year too. And who went into Milwaukee and beat them in 5 games?
That was coaching. It was coaching.
Oh man,
it was coaching.
We can't.
You know playoff Jimmy? You remember playoff Jimmy? You remember playoff Jimmy?
Hey,
it was coaching.
Hey, playoff Jimmy is a different thing, man. And I tell everybody, the regular season and the playoffs are 2 different animals. So the regular season gets you the numbers, but when you get in clutch time is the main time that we need to be looking at.
That's when it makes the most difference.
But it matters, for sure.
But salute to Milwaukee Bucks for taking care of the Chicago Bulls. And to TZD's point, they have not lost a game since All-Star. They've been clicking. They've been on point. There might have been some little chemistry issues that I was picking up on with Dame and Giannis or whatever. But whatever it is, they don't work that out. They're clearly starting to click. They're all on the same page. Doc Rivers.
I just want Dame to keep building his confidence. He's played well at the All-Star break. Like I said, when he won the All-Star MVP and 3-point contest, I said that's going to give him his confidence. He's going to get back on track, and he's just going to play. And look what's happening right now.
You called it. You did call it. You did right before the show that we had right before All-Star. You did say that. You was like, after All-Star watch, he called it. He said he's gonna pick it up, and they started clicking, and they definitely doing that. So salute to you, TZ Dave, for sticking with your team and knowing how this was gonna play out. Now,
that's a hard team to not stick. I mean, you got Giannis and you got Dame together.
They got
like NBA jams all over again. He's on fire.
They should be the number 1 team. They should be the number 1 seed with all that talent. They got a former MVP. Then they got the All-Star Game MVP all on the same roster. Then you got a championship coach that's coaching them. Like, what else do y'all boys need?
They don't get to the playoffs. The
Holy Ghost. Y'all got everything. Jesus, blood, clot, Christ. Who else you need?
And don't forget, we got Money Middleton. Money Middleton.
Money Middleton. You can't forget about Middleton. Middleton is that guy, man.
Money Middleton.
Middleton is that guy.
Michael Jordan Middleton, man.
You guys have size at every position. Y'all are the one team other than the Denver Nuggets who have size everywhere. Like every position on the court, y'all have size and length. That disrupt the team.
Brook Lopez now. Brook Lopez is sneaky. He plays defense and he scores when needed, but he's a pester. And he's blocking everything. You got to watch out for him. If you're not watching out for Giannis, Lopez is definitely there to pick up the pieces. So realistically, you guys right now, that's the team to beat between the Celtics and the Bucks in the East.
I'll say that's East Conference Finals. But I'll be glad if somebody beat Boston before we do. That means we ain't got to see it.
You want somebody to do the heavy. Y'all want somebody to do the heavy lifting.
You can't count out Miami because Miami gets in the playoffs and they kick into a different gear. I love Bam in the playoffs. Bam and Jimmy in the playoffs, just a whole different team, man.
I'm glad you said that because the next game that we're going to review and go over just so happens to be my Miami Heat as they beat up on the Utah Jazz over this weekend. Well, I won't say beat up. We beat them by 6 points, but that's good enough. 126-120. Jimmy buckets entering playoff mode. Jimmy dropped 37 points. He was 3 for 3 from downtown, 12 of 19 shooting from the field. Bam Adebayo contributed with 23 points, and scary Terry Rozier, who I like to call our X Factor, dropped 14 with 8 assists. He is really starting to get it together. And let's remember, this is still with no Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero has missed every game since when did he last play? Against New Orleans. That was the last time he played, and he hasn't been out there. But this is the time of year when Jimmy starts to turn up and prepare for the playoffs. This is when he turns into playoff Jimmy. Some people criticize Jimmy. I hear a lot of criticism from people saying, oh, Jimmy don't play 100% all season. He be coasting, and then he starts to turn it on late. But this is when we need him the most, the second half of the season and into the playoffs. So I applaud Jimmy for holding something back in the reserve tank and then going hard when it really matters the most. I'll let you brothers go ahead and talk. I done said what I needed to say about my Heat. I take a bow on that.
Jimmy Butler's not known for it. Like, he doesn't really care about shooting threes. He's more of a mid-range and get to the paint guy. So
he is. And the fact
when he hitting threes, it's kind of scary a little bit.
It's very. That's why when he went 3 for 3 from downtown, that tells me that playoff Jimmy is being activated. Usually if Jimmy gets the ball behind the 3-point line, he will look to kick it to somebody or he'll try to drive it in to get a mid-range shot. But when Jimmy is looking for his shot, that means he knows this is the time of year to turn it up and turn it on. Right now, again, we're at the number seven spot. I can easily see my Heat sliding up into a 6 or 5 and possibly 4 if the New York Knicks continue to have these issues with winning games the way that they've been having lately. So it looks like, we have we have the second easiest schedule left in the season of all teams. So it's very realistic that we could slide into a top 4 seed. But
y'all get some good pickups too from players like Jaime Jaquez, Martin. They stepped up to the game. I mean, think about it like this. Get down to the end. Them two guys put up an extra 30 points that really lifted Miami in the end over the Jazz. I mean, and then you got Scary Terry putting it in. Even though we can say he went 5 for 9 defensively, he was sticking in the game. And then you had Big Bam putting in the punch. So with Jimmy Bam, Scary Terry, and Robinson. Oh my God, Robinson kicked in and helped out in the clutch.
Hey, so you better tell TZD about Duncan Robinson, baby. I told you about Duncan.
He's
sneaky now.
He an X factor to me.
He is, because you never know. Like, he could light you up for 6 or 6 from downtown, or he could have a game where he's really quiet. So that's what makes him so hard to prepare for, because you don't know what you're gonna get. And then when you throw in Tyler, once Tyler gets back, and then we have that other shooter who can stretch the floor and also create his own shot, it's gonna be scary for a lot of teams, man.
You got to save Tyler you got to get him back in time for the playoff. And realistically, think about it. If Tyler Hero was with the Heat last year in the playoff.
Yeah. Imagine what we could have done. Because look, we made it all the way to the finals without our second best scorer. Without Tyler Hero.
So that's the main thing that we could be talking about, right?
Yeah.
It could be a lot going on differently if we'd had Tyler Hero in the mix.
I fully agree with you on that. And that's the X factor. So yeah, Tyler Hero is definitely an X factor. I think going into the second half of the season, we should probably just hold him down. If we're winning games without him, Terry Rozier is giving us 8 assists a game. Jimmy Butler's dropping 30s. Bam is giving us 20-something. Then let Tyler chill. Let him chill. Bring him back when it's getting close to the playoffs so he can be 100 because he is kind of an injury-prone player. This is like the second year in a row where he's had serious injury. So let's save him for the games that we really need him for. So I can definitely see Spo probably keeping him out of the lineup a little bit longer. Let's move along to the next game. I know we kind of running short on time, so I'm going to get this one in. The San Antonio Spurs beat the Indiana Pacers 117-105. We almost never talk about the Spurs. We never mention the Spurs. We don't talk about them. But that rookie that they have in San Antonio, Wembanyama, aka
Wemby, like you didn't know who he was. Now, come on now.
Wemby,
I got a 7'5" guy that almost nutmegged the guy. Come on,
how do we know? 31 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. Are the Spurs, this is my question, not too much about that game, but are the Spurs under pressure right now to make this a playoff team before Wemby's rookie contract is up? Because he seems like the kind of guy that wants to win. He don't seem like he's just going to be okay with being in the NBA and being a superstar. He seems like he wants to win. So are the Spurs under any kind of pressure to build a winning team around him? Because their team sucks right now.
Dave, I want to hear you on this one because I know you're big in depth on some of the newer players, and I love your insight. What you thinking about the Spurs pulling that together?
What you got, TZD?
I would say right now they're not in no rush. Wemby's young. They got enough. They do need to be. I say they need a point guard right now. Because they got some nice players with Vassell and Shohan and Wemby and Keldon Johnson. They just got to keep building within the next 2-3 years. Maybe get some picks. Or see if they can get some trades, but nobody wants to come to San Antonio, so who knows? But you got Wemby there, so they might want to come play with Wemby.
That's what I was just gonna say. You never know. Like when you got a 7'5" superstar stud in the making like that, you never know. Somebody might decide to, hey, let me come to one of these veteran players who might be at the back end of their contracts, who still got enough game in them to help a team win a championship. I could see them easily going there to the San Antonio Spurs and making some noise on them.
Keep Pop there. As long as you keep Pop, they're going to have competitive spirits. They're going to fight. They're going to be a team that's not just going to lay over. He's going to have them prepared.
I mean, no disrespect to Pop, but he's 1,000 years old. I don't know how
much longer they go have Pop.
I don't know how much longer.
Pop still got like 2 years. Maybe like to the era when Bron retired. I can see
Pop older than Joe Biden. I don't know how.
Pop like 78 for sure.
And then, so you got the number one. You got one of the number one picks, one of the greatest picks that any team could pick in the last so many years with Wembanyama. So now you got to really think. And then I think if they could have had Wembanyama, let's say if they'd have kept DJ in the mix of that team, by them having that point guard. That could be that niche that they need. And you're right, TZD. They need a point guard. They need some key pieces. So realistically, are they in a rush? Not really. They really in the rebuilding phase. I mean, you lost key pieces. You're adding some good key pieces in there. Brahman is definitely kicking in. So I see the Spurs in the next couple years being that team. But that's the question. Can they keep Pop? Pop got how many more years left in him?
That's a good question. I'd say maybe 1 to 2, but it's getting close to the end for him. And I mean, nobody can do it forever, but he is one of the greatest coaches, probably the best coach that we've seen in this era or even prior eras. But yeah, I definitely think that they got to do something though. They got to bring somebody in there because Wemby ain't gonna want to start off his career losing like consecutive seasons like that. So I do think they need to do something to kind of shake things up a little bit. But we'll see how things go as time goes on, and we'll keep our eyes on Wemby throughout the rest of the season and also for next year too.
I think the game is slowing down for him a little bit, which is kind of hard to say because he's so young. But he's been picking it up lately. Like he's getting 30s, like last 5 games. He wasn't doing that all year. He barely get 15, 20.
Or he's getting more acclimated. He's now getting the chance to play these guys who he's been idolizing. He see how they play. I mean, he's 7'4", 210 pounds. That's light.
Yeah, he's gonna get bigger. He's gonna put on some more weight
and stronger.
He's gonna figure it out. He's gonna figure it out, and I like what I'm seeing from him though. So Salute to Wemby, everybody in San Antonio. Y'all got a bright future in front of y'all, so y'all just keep your eyes open on that kid. Good stuff. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to give the history moment. We have come to that time of the show where every week on the Sports Time Zone, yours truly has a history moment that I want to give y'all. On this very day, this day, we're going to go way back before any of us was born. 1968 on this day, Joe Frazier, boxing legend and Hall of Famer, goes 20-0 on this date, and he wins the vacant world heavyweight boxing title when he stops Buster Mathis. I don't know who Buster Mathis is, but he got his ass TKO'd by Joe Frazier in the 11th round on this day in 1968 to give the championship to Joe Frazier in none other than Madison Square Garden, New York. Salute to Joe Frazier, one of the greatest heavyweight boxers that we have ever had in the time zone span of boxing. Salute to Joe Frazier for that. Also, special shout out, Draymond Green. Happy birthday, Draymond. This is Draymond Green's birthday.
Happy birthday, Draymond.
Happy birthday, Day. We love you. We hope to see many more years of you doing your thing. You revolutionized the position that you play. One of the best passing forwards that we have ever seen. One of the most versatile players that we've ever seen in this game today. We see what the team looks like without you playing, and we see what the team looks like with you playing. So Draymond is definitely a big asset to his team. We just want to say this special shout out to Draymond on his birthday and wish him a happy birthday, Draymond Green.
Yes, sir.
Salute.
Great.
Getting into the 2-minute drill now as we have come to the last 2 minutes of the show. Really quick, Mike Evans re-signed with the Bucks on a 2-year deal for $52 million. What y'all boys think about that?
$35 million guaranteed. Yes, sir.
Woo-wee.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, the Bucks can't do it. They're on the rebuilding phase.
$35 million guaranteed money. Salute to you, Mike Evans. This is championship week in college basketball. So we're going to have some really big college basketball championship games to finalize the seeding of the NCAA tournament. Do y'all have any early favorites for the NCAA tournament? Any of you guys, anything?
No,
I like Kentucky. I think Kentucky is nice.
I like Kentucky. I like Houston, and I like Carolina. I like those guys. I like those guys to win their respective.
And shout out to my dog right here. She might be the GOAT. Caitlin Clark. Shout out to you.
Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark. Yeah. The record breaker.
It's broke. I can't wait to see you in the league. Oh my God.
The record breaker, Caitlin Clark. We do have to take the time to salute her. She's doing something that's never been done in basketball, whether it be male or female. Caitlin Clark is the real deal. She's the truth. And she's making me even halfway interested in watching women's basketball. And I've never been the kind of person that's been into it, except for when Skylar Diggins was playing, because I love me some Skylar Diggins. But salute to Caitlin Clark for breaking that record.
Yes, sir, Caitlin.
Anthony Joshua, the boxer, has a
young
fight.
Juju over there in USC. Cutie Pie is a beast.
Oh yeah,
Juju in USC, she's a beast, bro.
Juju, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Juju over there in USC. Yeah, see, we got y'all got people interested in women's college basketball. So yeah, they're definitely doing something different this year. And there's a lot of talent that's coming out of the NCAA women's side of things. Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou. Anthony Joshua, boxing legend, former boxing champion and contender heavyweight, is going up against Francis Ngannou Friday, March the 8th. Francis is a former UFC fighter. So he came from the UFC and he transitioned into boxing. He had a fight against Tyson Fury. A lot of people may have saw that fight, and a lot of people had Francis Ngannou winning that fight by decision. But we know all the politics that go into boxing, and Tyson Fury ended up winning the fight. But if you watched it like everybody else did, I don't see how Tyson Fury won that fight. Francis won that fight, in my opinion, and he got a fight against Anthony Joshua March 8th. Joshua is set to make $50 million on this fight, and Francis is set to make $20 million off of this fight.
Bag. That's that bag.
Get the bag.
I can definitely see why he transitioned into boxing from the UFC. So March the 8th, Friday in Saudi Arabia, that fight is going down. Make sure y'all tune in. One other thing I want to touch on for this 2-minute drill is a little bit of a serious situation, but I do want to give credit where credit is due. Former NFL player Braylon Edwards, who was the wide receiver for the New York Jets. He also was a receiver for, I believe it was the Ohio State Buckeyes as well before he came in. Anyhow, Braylon Edwards stepped in and saved the life of an 80-year-old man who was being attacked in a locker room at a suburban Detroit YMCA on Monday. The details are still kind of sketchy, but basically what happened is Braylon was in the locker room. He heard some scuffling and some noise, some shuffling around, and then he heard a loud thud. As he turns around the locker room and goes to the other side, he sees a 20-year-old pummeling and beating down an 80-year-old elderly man. Braylon Edwards, without a doubt, saved this elderly man's life. He went in there, jacked up the 20-year-old, gave him the business, put some hands on him, and then held him down until the police came out there and arrested him. Now the 20-year-old is facing an attempted murder charge for having the 80-year-old beat like that. The 80-year-old did survive, and he's in the hospital in stable but critical condition. So salute to Braylon Edwards for saving his life. We don't really hear stories like that, but that's crazy. That is crazy that would even happen. A 20-year-old
trying to hit an elderly man anyway. Like, you 20 years old, he can't do that.
There's still no word on what caused the disagreement between them, but yeah, it was a very horrible thing. It was bad, but it turned out good. Braylon Edwards, you are a real life hero. You're a real life hero. You saved someone's life, and you acted just as any one of us probably would have to come to the aid of one of our elders that was in need of help. So salute to Braylon Edwards on that. I had to throw that in there on the 2-minute drill. Salute on that. But with that being said, that's all we got for y'all today. This was a great episode. I want to definitely thank Big Ty Hill ATL for joining us and being with us today, brother.
Hey, I appreciate you, Noosey. TZD, I ain't gonna front. I've been waiting to get on. I said, let's see what TZD gonna talk about today.
Yeah.
You gonna hear about my
told you. Yeah. I told you he was gonna come for you. He's gonna come for your throat. He definitely did. Pause.
I love to hear perspective. You know what I'm saying? Y'all two different generations, so I love to hear the cohesiveness and because you can agree to disagree, but at the same time, like great thinking minds can always agree. So, you know, I was excited to come on, man.
Most definitely, man.
And y'all boys, man, y'all doing something big, man. I love that y'all keeping it fresh, y'all keeping it raw. But more importantly, you're giving the fans the opportunity to say what they want to say. We see what the PC guys are doing. Now we got guys that speaking like we speaking and putting it out there like we putting it out there. So I was just glad for the opportunity.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's why we do it. That's why we're here to do it. I want to thank, again, everybody in the comments, all of the subscribers, all of the viewers, everybody for reaching out, for giving us the support and the love. Y'all keep these views going. Y'all run it back a couple of times. Plus that play button,
man. All the likes, hit that share button, hit that like button.
Like,
trying to go up,
subscribe, share.
That's what we need. That's what we looking for. Y'all lay around for it. Next week's episode, we got some real good stuff for y'all. We're going to break down the college, the NCAA tournament. We're going to look at those brackets. I know a lot of y'all is doing y'all bracketology and getting y'all brackets together. So we're going to break down some brackets next week. We're going to look at the NBA and where we are, any NFL news that comes about. We're going to talk about that, and we're just going to keep it popping. Y'all know how we do out here in the time zone. Yours truly.
Thank you all for having me today, gents.
Of course, that's how we do it. Brother Nuki in here, TZ Dave in here, Big Ty Hill in here, representing ATL. We gonna holler at y'all on the flip side, and we are out. ATL, shawty.
Yo.
Peace out.
Hey.
Yeah. That was good.